My girlfriend's sister is going to stay in our house for weeks without informing me?
Girlfriend's sister? Step-sis?
Step bro, I'm stuck in the dryer. So my, male 30, and my partner, female 26, live in a country far away from both of our families. We live in a tiny one-bed flat, which is, for all intents and all purposes, a studio, glass partition wall. It's pretty cramped even for two of us. I also pay all the rent. My partner covers food and a couple of bills, far less overall, and far less over the course of our relationship due to me earning considerably more. My girlfriend has spent a couple of weeks seeing said sister in another country. Her sister is doing some traveling and then had planned to come and stay with us. I've been given no dates and wasn't asked if this was okay or even how I felt about it. By the way, this comes from user Midnight Space Owl 76 on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, I was pretty stressed out about it. I work long hours in a stressful position, which includes once a week, on average, 14-hour work shifts and 2 sets of night shifts, so needing to sleep during the day, during the time she plans to come. I'm a very introverted person and value my free space. I would have to go to the bathroom to get changed because of that glass partition. Again, it's a very tiny, cramped space. I eventually told her how I was feeling, explained that I absolutely wanted her to spend time with her sister, but asked that we consider another workaround. She was disappointed, but seemed to understand to some extent.
Okay, all right. Respecting boundaries.
Communicating your feelings.
OP's covering all these bases here.
Good. Today, before she boards her flight home, she tells me she's sad, that she's crying, and I ask why? Because she's gonna miss her family? I'm like, well, you're gonna see your sister again in a few weeks. To which she responds with a screenshot of her and her sister talking about how upset they are, that they just wanted to spend time together, but since I'm stressed, then they will have to just cut their time short together and how much this sucks for them. Immediately after, she's offline and on her flight. They have just spent 2 weeks off work together and her sister's planning on traveling for 3 weeks alone before coming here. She just got a promotion, which is doubling her salary. I feel that if it's so important to spend time together with her sister, she should sacrifice some of her personal travel time and pay for her accommodation here, and my girlfriend could contribute what she can also.
Little girl's place, you know, a little Airbnb.
You want to enjoy your trip. I mean, I know you want to spend time together, but you want to enjoy your trip, not make everyone stressed out.
And OP is a workhorse. He needs his rest.
He needs his nappies. But no, it's my fault they can't have fun together. I feel incredibly guilt-tripped and annoyed that she didn't even think to ask me or consider how I might feel about this. If we had space, I would have no problem. Her friend stayed last year for a month when we had 2 bedrooms. I still don't even know when she's planning to come, for how long, where she will sleep. Our sofa is not big enough for an adult to sleep on. Anyway, I went on a bit of a rant explaining how I felt about the whole situation. Am I being unreasonable in thinking this is not cool? And we have some OP's comments and some comments here.
Comment below your thoughts. Keon, is he overreacting a touch?
If I'm in a tight space, like if there is no other workaround, maybe for like a day, like maybe like a day or 2, great.
3 days?
Like I said, let's make a workaround here. I'm not, stop it. But try and find a better housing accommodation, especially if she, again, just got a raise or, again, she's making some money. Maybe even Airbnb or like a hostel, something like that nearby. It's going to be better for everyone because, one, you're not going to get upset. The sister shouldn't get upset. She's going to be living in a better spot. And then your wife or girlfriend, your partner, is going to be like, okay, great.
It just seems like OP feels like he's being used a little bit. He wouldn't have mentioned how much he pays for the apartment and everything if he didn't feel like he was being used.
But yeah, this is also, you're paying for a lot of it. Again, if it was like for a day or maybe 2 days.
3 days.
Stop it, 2 days. 2 days tops, bite your tongue. You're like, okay, I can live with that.
Yeah.
But if it's for like a full time.
I thought it was 2 weeks, it sounded like.
Or however long. If it's more than that, where you're in a tight, cramped place and you're like, you're just making this livable. Adding a third person is going to make this very stressed out.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Not worth it for your peace.
I was going to say, you told your partner how you feel.
Yeah.
And they're still like, no, this is still happening. That's not fair. We have some comments here. Commenter said, not the a-hole. Your partner invited her sister over despite the logistical limitations without discussing with you first. It's your home too. It doesn't seem like there's a budget issue, as you mentioned, that your sister recently got promoted and doubled her salary, which means sister could have booked a nearby hotel and your partner could have stayed with her for a few days. Worst, I think, is your partner throwing you under the bus in her exchange with the sister instead of acknowledging her part in creating this situation in the first place. OP says, Thank you for the reassurance. I think I was definitely an a-hole in some of the reactionary comments, and I'll apologize for those, but I agree. I don't think I'm at fault for the root issue here, despite being made to feel that I am. Commentary again, not the a-hole. I would be really frustrated and upset if my partner tried to make a unilateral decision like this for a shared space, especially one so tiny. This kind of behavior comes across as inconsiderate and lacking in maturity, especially given how she placed the blame on you rather than taking accountability. I would have a sit-down talk with your girlfriend and really lay it out. Ask her how she would feel if you invited a male friend or brother to stay there and how it would appear that you expected her to just deal with the situation as uncomfortable as it might be. Ask her how considerate that would be. Offer her no judgment. Just try to understand and help her understand why you felt the way you felt. OP says, thank you for the thought-out response. Definitely going to sit down and talk about it. Unfortunately, I jumped right into sending a load of reactionary messages, which were immature in themselves. Thankfully, we have been able to unsend them, and so I will be doing just what you say and having no judgment to lay out how I feel and why. Another commenter says, especially if there's no way to close off the bedroom and main financial provider needs to sleep during the day. The girlfriend is being selfish and entitled for inviting her sister without a conversation and agreement from her boyfriend. And then for the guilt tripping, OP says, this is what really got me. Nights are hard enough in a relationship anyway. I'm also in healthcare, so I really need to optimize my sleep to be able to perform. I'm just baffled. Commenter states, have you asked about her sleeping arrangements? Because now I'm curious how they think that would work. OP says, yes. She said she would sleep on the sofa. Maybe one night crashing on the sofa this size is doable, but not for a few weeks.
Yes.
Or on the floor, which would mean trampling her if we went to get water / go to the bathroom in the night and have to step over her in the morning to get coffee, etc. Where this is not just enough space. I can't even do yoga / stretches inside because we have no floor space.
Dude, you need to move somewhere else, man. Hot take. The real issue is that you need to find a new place to live.
Maybe they're just saving up. Again, you're living in somewhere that doesn't seem it's very comfortable, even for one person. So home is where the heart is. And I get it. You're getting stressed out. And there's another note here from OP. There is a cultural difference. Her family is different to mine and would often have much more communal living. But she knows that this is different for me. A commenter, which is again also says downvoted, I understand the space is small, but you're expecting her to drop her cultural norms to fit yours? Don't you see that's a bit ironic? OP states, I don't think it is as simple as asking her to drop her cultural norms. We live in a very Western lifestyle together, as does her sister. I think her bringing up that it's normal for them to live more communally is unfair. Her family and our living / work situations are entirely different. They don't live in tiny one-bed flats. If I visit her country, I would be expected to adapt to fit in with their lifestyle. And then we have another update.
These are all solutions. I'm still sticking to my hot take.
I mean, you can't just, okay, let's change our place and...
No, change your place.
Okay, well, you can't change your place. So what's your next solution?
All right. Whatever OP said earlier.
You can stay for like maybe a night, maybe 2 nights.
Any more than that, you're going to burn out the workhorse.
Yeah, it's not fair that this was not communicated to you, OP, and it should have been communicated and not, just kind of thrown under the bus. Update, then this is the next day. I measured the couch they had planned for her to sleep on, which I told them isn't big enough. It's 4'5" in length. She is 5'5". There is not enough floor space for an air mattress or anything like that. It is simply not feasible. To everyone who felt this was a deal breaker / relationship ender, that's kind of insane based on the above information. Yes. I agree with those who suggested that she was upset about any obstacles limiting her plan and that she was somewhat blinded by excitement to the reality of our situation. I get that. I've done similar in the past. I don't think she was intentionally manipulating me. I think she was upset and wanted to express that. I get it. She apologized for making me feel bad. I accepted the reality of our living situation and is trying to find workarounds. And you know what you can do? You can find us live 3 p.m. EST every weekday on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Twitch. Just tap that profile.
Tap it, tap, tap.
There is another relevant update, but...
disagreement that he's trying to find the best solution for. No need to break up.
No, none of that. I think he also gets where she was coming from. She was just so blinded by excitement. Like, oh, sister's coming. Like, yes, yay. But he's like, baby, be realistic.
Baby, she got nowhere to sleep, baby.
She ain't sleeping with us. We don't even have room to sleep. It seems
Yeah.
I think the solution is like, again, go to a nearby hostel, hotel, somewhere nearby. If she needs to crash on the couch, which is not even logistical, 1 night, 2 night. It's clear that communication is really key in relationships. Had there been clear communication prior, this whole situation could have been avoided. The reason I came to Reddit rather than talk with her more is because she was traveling for around 24 hours and she was offline. To those who suggested we talk without judgment and just try and understand where both sides were coming from, thank you. This is the way.
He just wanted to hear that. That's all he needed.
I guess he just wanted to speak it and like wanted to get someone's advice and like, what should I do? And yeah, no, you're reasonable. I don't think you're an a-hole. I think, again, communication is what was missing here, but it was hard to communicate, like you said. I think your best thing is like, hey, maybe you can help find them a place or find your sister a place to get, around the corner, and then maybe go have a good dinner with her and your partner.
And that's the end of that story.